What's going on, everybody? This is Captain Obvious. You guys are the 11 crew, and here's another 10 things that I would love added to vanilla Minecraft to make it great again. All right, the first one, I think I kind of touched on this before, but pickable trees, so we can have like orchards, you know, where you can actually see like the apples hanging from it. I think we also need oranges in the game, just to make it a little bit more real, so you can actually see it growing. Because right now, you know, it's kind of just a crapshoot. If you're looking for apples to enchant, you're basically just going to have to chop down a bunch of trees, and maybe you get 1, 2, 3, something like that. But if we had the ability to actually see the apples or the fruit on a tree, it might be a little bit cooler, right? I also think we should get banana trees. That's just my opinion. Bananas, oranges, apples. I just think we need more fruits. Orchards would be amazing in the game. I absolutely love building tree farms. All right, number 2. We need a music overhaul very, very badly. Now, they just gave us these great new mechanics with the jukeboxes in the Bedrock Edition, but we don't really have any new music. I mean, when was the last time there was an upgrade to music? It's been a while. So we need more discs, right? And I think the way they can go about doing it is, why not add discs to the Nether? Why not do that? Why not have some of the mobs in the Nether drop music discs if they're shot by an arrow from a skeleton? I think that'd be kind of cool. And we also need like some kind of sound amplifier, because the jukebox by itself is pretty low. You know, you have to be within a decent range of it. So why not get some kind of amplifier or speaker to make it that much bigger? So like, let's say you want to do, I don't know, let's just say you want to have like a music play when you walk into a room. Now, if you walk in and let's say you have a big house or something, it's pretty okay, it's a decent amount. But what if you want to step outside for a little bit, or what if the place is just so big it's going to get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer? We should be allowed to set up speakers with redstone, of course, that will actually pick up the sound. Just an idea. But we also need, to go along with this whole music overhaul, a simple music maker for custom records. There's got to be a way to do it. I was making music in Mario Paint? You had like a little music maker back. I mean, so many programs give you simple music makers inside of them. We should be allowed to get it. Even if it was like another item, even if it was like another block we had to craft, where we could just make a few sounds. It doesn't have to be long, just something very, very short, very small, but something that is customized for us, which means we'd also have to get blank records. So again, maybe you put it in the Nether, or maybe in the end, maybe the Nether and the end both have music discs. Blank records could be included in that. I don't know. I just feel like we need a music overhaul. Let me know, in the comments what you feel. All right. So number 3, this is actually an idea from Sabotage Supply Lines. He said, I have an idea for the next episode. What about all mobs have a god, like a zombie god, a zombie 3x big, a zombie that's 3 times bigger than a regular zombie, with 3 times the health points, 3 times the attack, 1/2 the speed. I think that's a good idea. I think we should have god-type versions of mods, or bigger mobs. I think that would be fantastic, actually. I love that idea. That's why I included it. I think that there needs to be, and I've said this in other episodes, I think there needs to be more than regular mobs, less than bosses, just mini-bosses all around. And have conditions. Have certain conditions that they need to spawn. Maybe they get struck by lightning. Maybe if enough of them are in one area and you're close to them, they can kind of smush together somehow and grow. I don't know, but I feel like that is a fantastic idea. Sabotage, thank you for that one. That is awesome. This is from my boy Griff. Okay, he said, can I make a suggestion for you that if you have the same dog for so long that it would turn into a werewolf? I actually really like that idea, and I think we can go a little bit further and add more mythical creatures, or more science fiction-y type creatures. Like, why not have? Remember, I had said add vampire bats, or just take the regular bats, and after a certain time, why not have them turn into like a Dracula mob or something like that, or even have the regular bats turn into the vampire bats, and that's what is the mythical creature. I don't know. I think it's a really good idea. That's why I included it. But I think that a werewolf would be awesome. I think that would be so cool, where like it's your dog, but it kind of turns back into its wolf self. It could attack you. It could attack the other dogs, the other tame dogs. It could attack mobs. I think that's a really, really good idea. And I think, we could definitely elaborate on that and have, like I said, vampire bats, maybe, I don't know, a Yeti, I don't know, just other cool things. But I love that werewolf idea. So thank you, Griff. Another fantastic idea by my boy Sunfire. He said, in the Nether, it would be cool to see pigmen villages. And he's right. He said they're clearly organized and social creatures, so a village makes sense. Same mechanics as the pigmen. It's just that now they're going to have villages. I think that's great. I think that's a much highly needed idea in the Nether. It gives it more life. We see pigmen spawning all the time together, so the idea that they would have villages makes perfect sense to me. And obviously, you got to keep the mechanics the same. I don't want to change the mechanics, but I do think that having them, in villages where they can open doors, I think that's great. I think that's a really cool idea. So thank you, Sunfire. What are we on? Number 6, I think. An atlas. Now, I heard something about this might be coming at some point, but I think an atlas is badly, badly needed. So what it would be is, once you open up a map, once you fully explore a map, it doesn't matter the size, whatever size it is, right? Either 1, 2, 3, or 4 with the new sizes of the maps. Once you fully open a map, you should be allowed to place it in a book and turn it into an atlas. That way, you can just carry the book with you, and you'll have a ton of maps. It saves space in inventory, right? And again, it has to only be for the fully functioning one, or maybe not. Actually, I don't really see why, because you can kind of think about it as your map making along the way, right? Just like you are with a regular map. Once you put it in a book, it'll just open up along the way. I think that's a great idea, but you would need to have the same size. So if you put a map in that's a 1, then all the other maps in that have to be a 1. Vice versa, if you put in a 4, all the other maps have to be a 4. I definitely think that distinction needs to be made. And once you put a map of that region in the book, you can't put another one in, so it avoids duplicates, so you don't have to worry about like, oh no, do I already have this in there? I think that that would help a lot. So an atlas would be great. And then also screenshots if you're playing on a PC. Obviously, I can't. I guess I could do it on Bedrock on the PC, but I play on Xbox, and unless they're going to let me do my Xbox screenshots and put it in the game itself, which would be great. I think this has to be a Java only version, but screenshots should be allowed in books. You should be allowed to take a screenshot, place it in a book, so when you turn it for reference, but only in this atlas form. There has to be a map with the screenshot. Right, so let's say you want to do a puzzle for your friends or something, or you want to do some kind of like challenge, like who can get there first. You give them an atlas, you give them a picture of something, and it's like, okay, now you have to find it. I think it could be cool for map games and things like that. That could be really, really fun. Number 7, a new block. Okay, and this is going to be called a bloodstone. Now that's going to be a combination of a nether wart brick and a stone brick. Okay, so you're going to get the exact same texture as mossy stone, but it's just going to be red. And the recipe should be a 1-for-1 recipe. So since you're putting in 1 stone brick and one nether wart brick, you're going to be getting 2 bloodstones out of it. I think that'd be awesome. Now it's going to be great for use in mob farms, like for the floor, just to simulate slaughtering the animals. Could be used for adventure maps to show that there was some kind of fight or something there, or some kind of battle scene. Medieval would be great to have these kind of things lying all around. But I definitely think we need some form of red stone block where the most of the block is like the stone brick, but you can just get some hints of red in there. Could be kind of cool, but I definitely think that we need something like that. Number 8, huge flowers need to be added, just like huge mushrooms. For one, it would be a great visual addition to the scenery, right? Allowing you to make like really cool customized biomes. But it should have the same features of a cactus. So for example, once you hit the base, the whole thing breaks. And it doesn't break apart into a bunch of different flowers. That wouldn't make sense. It's a giant flower. Like if you go out there and you find a flower in the real world and you break it, like let's say it's an overgrown flower, overgrown plant. It's not like you can make that into little ones. You know what I mean? So whereas something like a mushroom, that makes sense. Where you can cut off a piece of a mushroom and still have a mushroom. It's still a mushroom. Once you kill the flower, it's not like you can't break it and turn it into a mini version of itself. You can have parts of it. You can have the leaves of it. But I feel like once you break it, it just gives you that one back. But you'd be able to get the giant one back. So that's different than a cactus and different than a mushroom, obviously, because this one you'd be able to place. So you would have to only be able to grow it with bone meal, maybe on a certain type of block. Who knows? They can add that if they want, but I would say that once it's fully grown and you break it, now you have a fully grown version in your inventory. It could say like, huge flower or whatever it is, huge dandelion, huge sunflower, whatever the name is, I forget. But I think that would be kind of cool to add to the world, just as scenery. I mean, imagine like a whole flower biome, like a huge flower biome. That'd be pretty cool. I think that would add really nice visuals. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Number 9, a fire whip. Okay, hear me out. I know it sounds kind of OP. It kind of is. It's going to be a fishing rod that you can combine with a magma block to make it, or maybe you don't craft it. Maybe you could just solely find it in a nether as a nether-only weapon, which we need. I don't think right now there's not one that comes to mind. I don't think we have a nether-only weapon, right? So I think we need that, where you can only find it in a nether, through some zombie pigmen, let's say, where every once in a while they'll spawn with a fire whip, kind of like how the drowned spawn with the tridents now. It would be very, very rare, of course. And it's going to act like a fishing rod, but you can't fish with it. But it does do fire damage. Now, the only drawback is it has to be something negative to it. You don't want to make it too OP. But it does have a lower durability than a stone sword. So the durability should be in between like a wooden sword and a stone sword. I think that'd be kind of cool. But you can repair it with magma cream or blaze powder. So I think that would be a really fun addition. Maybe even an ice whip as well. I think that could be kind of cool. But anyway, number 10, mixable potions to save inventory space. You guys know I love potions if you watch my channel. I think I've done 4 tutorials, 1 fully automatic, 3 semi. I have it, in my Infiniverse world. I love potions. I just don't use them that much because they take up inventory space. That's prime real estate for me. I always have a lot of stuff that I carry. But you'd be able to put multiple potions in a cauldron, up to 3 to save space, right? But each potion that you add will drop the length of time allowed. So for example, if you put in 2 8-minute potions, right, you're going to get 1 6-minute potion that's going to have both of the effects of the first 2 potions, but it's only 6 minutes. Okay, and then if you add the third potion, it's going to drop it by another 2 minutes down to 4. So a third potion that's going to have only 4 minutes of durability, but 3 different effects on it. I think it could be kind of cool. We've needed something to do with cauldrons for a really long time. And I really and truly feel that. But just besides the dyeing. I mean, the dyeing is fun and it's cool. And you can put them on the floor and make them look really, really cool. But besides the dyeing, we need something else for the cauldrons. And that's kind of what they're for. Witches, cauldrons, making potions. That's kind of what they're known for in in video games and in lore. So I think that'd be really fun. I think it'd be a really fun thing to do. And now we have some extra ones. This time I actually have 4 extra ones for you. Just little things that I thought of. The first thing is, you guys have probably had this similar thought, but villagers should run away from the player if they're wearing a zombie head. Plain, super simple, right? It would be easier to herd villagers. You can actually, kind of funnel them into areas very, very quickly rather than having to do all of these tricks with water and boats and mine carts and things like that, and having to go back and forth and back and forth. I think just being able to herd them really quickly with a zombie head, I think that's a really good idea. Number 2, the Wither needs to drop more XP like the dragon, period. I know it drops the star, and I'm not saying have it as much as the dragon, but it needs to have a little bit more than it does. It's a really hard mob to kill. I don't know if it's changed on Java version, but in the Bedrock Edition, it's like OP right now. It's like the OP Wither. It's insane how much harder they made it. And it was already hard to begin with, but it's so much harder now. Number 3, this is more of a fun thing. You guys may not like this idea. I find it extremely useful, but a lever torch. Basically, just combine a lever and a torch, and it's just a torch a lever that is lit up. Now, what's that good for? As a redstoner, we kind of have a lot of times we have hidden redstone in these rooms, and you have to put torches down to light them up and things like that. This would just combine it. It would just combine it into one item, save space, help keep your the back of your redstone areas mob free. So if you have to go back there, you don't have to worry about a mob destroying it. Just a fun idea. And number 4, another fun idea. All fire in the end should be purple. Should be purple. That's it. I think it would look really cool. I think the effect would be awesome. I think we could do so many cool designs with that. but it should be purple. All right, anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. As always, please leave your suggestions in the comments. If I like it, I will feature you in the video like I did with those gentlemen up top. Keep in mind, all three of them, I have a link to their channel in the description. I have not checked out Sabotage Supply Line's channel, so I don't know if he actually has content, but I'm leaving a link to his channel anyway. So if he does, check him out. And obviously, Griffith and Sunfire as well will be in the description. All right, anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Captain Obvious out. Peace.